Hey there. So, the cure for attachment when it comes to love or money, easy peasy. Awareness, feeling your feelings, and emotionally risky action. And of course, if it was all that simple, it would be great. But that is, I would say, my building blocks and have been for the last 16 years. Here's the thing: attachment means lack. And what you want to know is that your feelings are attached to your beliefs and your patterns. And unfortunately, most of us don't realize that because I don't know if we think it's all separate or we don't even understand why we feel we do. So being attached to anything means you fear its loss. You fear the loss of it. So how you feel drives what you do. It drives your behavior. So if you find yourself having a fear of losing something or someone, or believing that having something or someone is going to make you feel whole from the outside in, it's about finding it inside. And as an insecurely attached person, that's who I believe I'm speaking to. And as somebody who has been one, it's the spiritual journey that you didn't even know you were on. So like years ago, I used to collect spiritual books. Like I love to go to bookstores. I love to go anywhere where there's books because I love the smell of books. And I love to have books, and I have a ton of books everywhere. Spiritual books, though. It was a lot of fun, and I would go in there and I would get all these great ideas and I'd read them and they all sound really awesome and have a lot of similar messages, right? But I could never feel it. And every tool I tried to use that I got from these books, I usually found that when the shit would hit the fan or I get triggered, basically, that whatever I learned was useless. Like it just disappeared. It didn't even matter anymore. And so I would find myself going, okay, I'm still attached. And I don't know if I even used the word attached, in the years before I started doing this work. Whatever I used, I was like, oh, I'm still stuck. But it took me nowhere. And I would basically get triggered into fight or flight or anxiety or avoidance, basically. I was no longer present. Not that I even knew what emotional or physical or spiritual presence was back in the day. I was basically out of the moment and into some past old moment, reacting to, again, what I thought I was going to lose. So for an avoidant, of course, you're going to fear being swallowed up. For an anxious person, you're going to fear withering away into nothingness, like just becoming dust and blowing in the wind. I had a client actually say something like they would move into being a million tiny ashes, and that would be the end of them. That's how they felt. And so when you are both an anxious and avoidant, both, right? Depending on the situation. Like if you're attached to somebody, oh my God, I would be in such a state of trying to control everything because I was so afraid of loss. And then if I had somebody who was chasing me or something like that, then I would be in a state of fearing being swallowed up. Right. And then, of course, I was the type who would be dating somebody and not into them. And then they would finally get it and go away. And then I'd be like, no, wait, come back. Because then they were avoidant to me. Right. Yeah, that was my favorite way to date. So the reason it turns into a spiritual journey is that the inner space is what saves your ass. It's the inner work. And therefore, you don't do the spiritual bypass because you can't. I tried doing that for years and I got nowhere. You become one with your higher self, your intuition, your truth, and you feel a part of the universe because you really do. You're not just looking out there going, gosh, I'm going to do the experiment where I see all these yellow cars and, your reticulating activation system, the RAS, right? All of a sudden, you're seeing a bunch of yellow cars. That's not what I'm talking about. It's like you literally feel things on a whole different level that you don't even need all the signs outside of you. But hey, it's great if you have them. And especially when it comes to having control of your emotions, when it comes to attachment issues. So one of the things is to become aware, number one, of what you do, why you do it, and how it affects anything, why you give something meaning. When you see what you do, maybe running from a potential partner or staying stuck in a job you hate, you need to get to the why. The why is not about the potential partner or the crappy job. It's why you are making the choice to be where you are based on you and your perception. You see, your perception, which only belongs to you, is only true to you. Yeah, should I repeat that? You see, your perception, which only belongs to you, is only true to you. But what gives it truth? Well, you go along in your life looking all over for evidence that it is true, evidence outside of you. And the repetition of your thoughts and actions based on your feelings is what you will see, and you'll give meaning to a perception. So you need to know why you give meaning to that something. When you start to build this awareness, many things you've always perceived are going to change. They just will. And with opening of how you see things, like he or she is the one, or he or she is not the one, or the job is the only one you can have because it's familiar and you fear the new kind of stuff, right? New kind of job. And so on. So you see, meaning is something, once you start questioning it, never looks the same. And so the awareness, the feeling your feelings, and the emotionally risky action can be the challenge to those feelings, which can feel like cement or trying to move through cement. That's how feelings can feel when it's like you're really stuck in a pattern and you don't know how to get out. And it's like, oh God, this feels so heavy and hard. It's, again, feelings stuck to a pattern. So Feeling your feelings is not as simple as just feeling anger and depression, and it's to get deeper and feel the physical sensations in your body. They are there, but we're usually just numb to them. So I will have more videos about this. Please subscribe if you are interested in learning more. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.